She expected the human to kill her, but he did something completely different. She expected the human to kill her. The room was clean, quiet, and far too calm for a place where people came to disappear. The walls were smooth and light gray, without symbols, without marks, without even shadows to hold on to. A single wide window showed a slow-moving starfield outside. No guards stood nearby. No weapons were visible. That alone made the alien woman's breathing uneven. Her name was Seravith, once a diplomatic observer of the Virelian Combine. Now she was nothing. A forgotten official from a failed mission, abandoned when her government collapsed into silence and denial. She sat on a low resting platform, her four-fingered hands folded tight in her lap. Her skin, normally pale blue, had faded into a dull gray. Fear did that to her species. She had been taught to control it. She had failed. Humans were coming. Everyone knew what humans did when they decided a problem was finished. They did not shout. They did not threaten. They did not enjoy it. They simply ended things. The door slid open without sound. Seravith's body reacted before her mind could. Her spine straightened. Her breathing slowed by instinct. She lifted her head and prepared herself. The human who entered did not match her expectations. He was not tall by human standards, though still taller than her. He wore plain dark clothing, not a uniform, no insignia, no weapons. His hands were empty. His hair was dark and slightly unkempt, like someone who forgot to look in mirrors. His face held no anger, no cold focus, just tired attention. He paused when he saw her, as if checking whether she was real. Then, instead of speaking, he stepped to the side and pressed a panel. A small table extended from the wall. On it appeared a container of water adjusted to Virelian mineral needs and a tray of nutrient food shaped carefully for her species, Grip. He placed them gently in front of her. Then he sat down, across from her, at the same level, and waited. Seravith blinked. This was not how it was supposed to happen. Her people taught that humans used kindness only as a tool, that every soft moment hid a blade behind it. That silence meant calculation. That patience meant preparation. Her heart pounded anyway. Minutes passed. The human did not speak. He did not stare. He simply sat, hands resting loosely on his knees, eyes occasionally shifting toward the stars beyond the window. Seravith's throat tightened. "If you are here to end this," she said carefully, her translator implant smoothing her voice into calm tones, "you do not need to delay." The human turned his head slightly. He studied her face not like a hunter, but like someone reading a damaged page. "I'm not here to end anything," he said. His voice was quiet, not soft, just controlled. Her claws dug into her palms. "Then why am I here?" He thought about that. That alone unsettled her. "I'm Elias," he said finally. "Elias Cade, Systems Archivist, Terran Coalition." Archivist, the word meant nothing to her. "You are not military," she said. "No, you are not intelligence. No, you are not a negotiator." No, her confusion deepened. "Then why was I given to you?" Elias exhaled slowly. "Because nobody else wanted to decide what to do with you." That was worse. Her species understood power, understood chains, understood punishment, but being unwanted, that was a different kind of danger. She swallowed. "My people will not come for me. I know. You will gain nothing by keeping me alive. I know." "Then why?" He raised one hand gently, not to silence her, but to slow the moment. "You haven't eaten." Her eyes flicked to the food. She hadn't realized how hungry she was until then. Suspicion warred with instinct, survival won. She reached for the container, expecting alarms, restraints, pain. Nothing happened. The human looked away while she ate. That detail stayed with her. When she finished, he nodded once, as if acknowledging a completed task. "Rest," he said. "We'll talk later." "Later," her voice cracked despite herself. "You will come back." "Yes." "When?" "When you're ready." He stood, stepped toward the door, then paused. "Oh," he added almost casually, "this room isn't a cell. The door will open if you ask." And then he left. The door slid shut without sound. Seravith stared at it for a long time, then she tested it. "Open," she said. The door obeyed. Beyond it lay a clean corridor, softly lit, empty. No guards, no barriers, no force fields. Her legs trembled. This was wrong. This was deeply, dangerously wrong. She stepped back into the room and let the door close again. Freedom without direction felt more terrifying than chains. She curled inward on the platform and tried to slow her breathing. Humans did not act like this, not according to history, not according to fear, not according to logic. Somewhere far away, Elias walked through the station's quiet halls, his expression unreadable. He accessed a terminal and reviewed her file. Former observer. Non-combatant. No recorded violence. Declared potential destabilizing presence by 3 separate councils. The recommendation line blinked at the bottom. Resolution authorized. Method discretionary. Elias closed the file. He didn't erase it. He didn't forward it. He simply locked it. Outside the station, stars drifted in silence. Inside, a woman who expected death was left alone with something far more difficult. Uncertainty. And somewhere deep in her mind, a dangerous thought began to form. What if the stories about humans were wrong? Or worse, what if they were incomplete? Sarevith did not sleep. Her body rested, but her mind refused to slow down. Every sound in the room felt important. Every small change in light felt like a signal. She expected the door to open at any moment. She expected guards, orders, an ending. None came. Hours passed. The stars outside the window slowly shifted, silent and distant. Humans measured time differently than her people. They let it stretch. They let it breathe. That frightened her more than force ever had. When the door finally opened, she was already sitting upright. Elias entered alone, carrying a thin data slate. He looked the same as before, plain, calm, almost ordinary. If she had not known better, she might have thought he was just another station worker. He stopped when he saw her alert posture. "You didn't rest," he said. "I did not trust the room," she replied honestly. He nodded as if that made sense. "Fair." He placed the slate on the table but did not activate it. Instead, he sat again, same level, same distance. No attempt to control the space. Sarevith watched his hands. Humans revealed much through them. His were steady, no tension, no hidden tools. "You said we would talk," she said. "Yes." "Is this the part where you decide my end?" He looked at her then, really looked. Not with fear, not with judgment. "With people," he said slowly, "we usually talk before we decide anything." Her throat tightened. "My people talk after." "I know." That answer struck her harder than expected. "You've studied us," she said. "Yes. For what purpose? To understand what went wrong." Her fingers curled. "We failed." "You did," he agreed, "but not in the way the galaxy says." She did not like that. "Explain." Instead of answering, Elias activated the slate. Symbols appeared, human legal code, layered and complex. "This is a formal notice," he said. "Galactic Oversight has reviewed your status." Her heart sank. "Here it comes." "They've given me authorization," he continued, "to resolve your situation." Her translator softened the words, but she understood their meaning. "Resolve, end." "How?" she asked quietly. He hesitated. "That," he said, "is left to my discretion." The room felt smaller. Sarevith folded her arms tightly. "Then do it." Elias frowned slightly. "Why would you say that?" "Because delaying only increases suffering," she said. "If humans truly value efficiency, you would not prolong this." He leaned back, exhaling slowly. "Efficiency isn't always speed," he said. "Sometimes it's accuracy." She did not respond. "Your file lists you as a destabilizing presence," he continued. "Your people's collapse caused political damage, refugee waves, broken treaties. The galaxy prefers clean endings." "Yes," she said bitterly, "we are inconvenient." "Inconvenient," he repeated, "not dangerous." That surprised her. "Then why does the authorization exist?" "Because fear likes simple answers." He reached forward and with one motion locked the slate. "I'm refusing." The word did not register at first. "Refusing what?" she asked. "To carry out the authorization." Her eyes widened. "You cannot do that." "I just did." "There will be consequences." "Yes, for you." "Yes," her breathing quickened. "Why?" Elias was quiet for a long moment. "Because every time the galaxy erases someone quietly," he said, "it convinces itself it was necessary. Humans learned what that leads to." She stared at him. "You are risking yourself for me?" "I'm risking procedure," he corrected, "not you." That hurt more than she expected. "Then what am I to you?" she asked. "A question," he said honestly. She looked away. "My people do not value questions." "I know." Silence returned, but it felt different now, less sharp, more heavy. "You said you wanted to understand what went wrong," she said. "Yes." "Why?" "Because humans archive failures," he said. "Ours and everyone else's." She studied him. "As warnings, as lessons." She hesitated, then spoke. "My people believed history was a weapon. Whoever controlled it controlled the future." Elias nodded. "That belief destroyed you." Her chest tightened. "Yes." He did not push further. Instead, he stood. "I'll be back," he said. "Sooner this time." She watched him leave again. This time, when the door closed, she did not feel abandoned. Elias stood before the Oversight Council projection hours later. Faces from a dozen species filled the air above the chamber, some organic, some artificial, all watching him. "You are delaying resolution," one voice said. "I am denying it," Elias corrected. "This individual represents instability." "She represents history," Elias replied. "Uncomfortable history. Your role does not grant moral authority." "No," he agreed. "It grants responsibility." A pause. "You are aware," another voice said, "that humans wrote the ethical clauses you are now citing." "Yes. You assumed you would one day need them." "We hoped we wouldn't," Elias said, "but we prepared anyway." Silence spread. Finally, the council spoke again. "Your refusal is noted. Temporary stay granted." Temporary. Elias nodded. That was enough for now. Back in her room, Saravith stood near the window. For the first time since her capture, she allowed herself to imagine a future that did not end. It terrified her. Humans were not what she feared. They were worse. They made you face yourself, and they refused to decide for you. Saravith had learned how to walk the station. She knew which corridors stayed empty the longest. She knew where the lights dimmed softly instead of sharply. She knew the sound of the station's breathing, low, steady, almost comforting. Freedom still felt unreal. No guards followed her. No signals tracked her movement, at least none she could sense. Humans trusted quietly, and that made every step heavier. When Elias called for her, she came willingly. This time he did not meet her in the white room. Instead, he led her deeper into the station, past sealed doors and access panels that responded only to his presence. The air felt cooler here, older. "What is this place?" she asked. "A memory vault," Elias replied. She stopped walking. "My people destroyed ours," she said flatly. "I know. That is not something to admit so easily." "Humans learn to admit loss early," he said. "Otherwise it eats you alive." They entered a wide chamber filled with floating light panels. Images shifted slowly across them, symbols, recordings, art, voices frozen in time. Saravith's chest tightened. She recognized the patterns, Virelian patterns. "This is impossible," she whispered. Elias activated a panel with a gentle motion. "When your councils ordered the purges, human observers copied everything they could, quietly." "Why?" Her voice trembled. "Because cultures don't belong to governments," he said. "They belong to people, past and future." A sound escaped her that was almost a sob. She walked closer. There were voices, children speaking old dialects that had been declared inefficient. Songs removed for being emotionally disruptive. Philosophy texts banned for encouraging doubt. All here, preserved. "My people said these weakened us," she said. "They made you human," Elias replied, then corrected himself. "They made you alive." She turned sharply. "Do not compare us to you." He met her gaze calmly. I'm saying we made the same mistake once." She stared at him. "Once," he nodded. "Long ago we burned books, silenced thinkers, deleted truths that hurt." "What stopped you?" "We ran out of lies that worked." That answer stayed with her. She reached out and touched a panel. The image changed to a public forum debate, one she remembered. The speaker had vanished weeks later, officially reassigned, unofficially erased. "You kept this," she said, "even after we tried to erase it from ourselves." "Yes, why didn't you show us?" "We tried," Elias said softly. "You called it interference." She closed her eyes. For the first time, the fall of her civilization did not feel like an attack. It felt like a slow suicide. "My people believed control was strength," she said. "Humans believed that too," Elias replied, "until we learned that control breaks under pressure." She looked at him again. "And memory? Memory bends," he said, "but it doesn't break easily." She moved from panel to panel, hours passing unnoticed. Every step revealed something she thought lost forever. When she finally spoke again, her voice was small. "What do you want from me?" Elias shook his head. "Nothing. That is not true," he considered. "I want you to see. And then you choose." That word again, choice. It followed humans like a shadow. She turned back to the archive. "If my people knew you kept this, they would feel exposed," Elias said. "Yes, we're used to that." She almost laughed, almost. At the edge of the chamber stood a final panel, dark and inactive. "What is that?" she asked. Elias hesitated. "That one requires consent." "From whom?" "From you." Her pulse quickened. "Why?" "Because it contains your personal record." She froze. "My what?" "Your observations, private logs, drafts you never submitted." "That is impossible," she said sharply. "Those were deleted. We copied them first." Anger flared. "You had no right." Elias did not argue. "You're right." Silence stretched. "Do you want to see it?" he asked. Her mind raced. Those thoughts were dangerous, doubts, questions, seeds of disobedience. If she saw them now, there would be no excuse left. Yes, she said. The panel lit. Her own voice filled the chamber, uncertain, thoughtful, afraid. We are changing too fast. Efficiency is becoming cruelty. If we erase dissent, what remains of us? She sank to her knees. I wrote this, she whispered. Yes, and I still obeyed. Yes. Tears slid down her face, unashamed now. Elia's remained still, present but not intrusive. When she finally looked up, her eyes burned. You humans are dangerous, she said. He tilted his head slightly. How so? You don't destroy us, she said. You return us to ourselves. He did not deny it. That night, Saravath returned to her room changed. She no longer feared death. She feared forgetting. And she understood now why humans were feared across the galaxy, not because they killed, but because they remembered. Saravath stood in the doorway for a long time. The door was open. It had been open every time. That was the problem. On her world, doors opened only when someone allowed it. Freedom was granted, measured, and monitored. Here, the door opened because she asked. No permission, no warning, no pressure. Humans did not guard her body. They guarded her choice. She stepped into the corridor and stopped. People passed by, humans mostly. A few other species. No one stared, no one pointed. No one whispered. To them, she was not a prisoner, not a threat, not even important. She was just present. That hurt more than fear ever had. She walked slowly, letting the station carry her forward. Every step felt like she was doing something wrong. Every breath felt borrowed. When she reached the observation deck, she saw Elias standing near the glass wall, hands behind his back, eyes on the stars. You knew I would come, she said. I hoped, he replied. She joined him, standing side by side, equal distance from the glass. The council will not stay silent forever, she said. No, Elias agreed. They never do. You refused their order, she said. You cannot keep doing that. I don't plan to, she turned sharply. Then what happens to me? Elias looked at her, really looked at her. Nothing, he said. She laughed once, sharp and hollow. That is not an answer. It's the most honest one I have. He activated a small projection. 3 simple options appeared, written in clear symbols. New identity, safe place. And if I return, she asked. You'll go back to a society pretending nothing was lost, she swallowed. And the third, speak, Elias said, publicly, openly, about what was erased. Her chest tightened. That would destroy what remains. It might save what can still grow, he replied. She looked at the options. Freedom, real freedom. It terrified her. My people taught that too many choices weaken the mind, she said. Humans found the opposite, Elias said. Too few choices break it. She turned away from the projection. If I speak, she said, I will be hated. Yes, if I stay silent, I will live. Yes, if I leave, she said slowly, I will survive, but as a lie. Yes, the honesty in his voice left no room to hide. Why are you doing this? She asked again. Elias exhaled. Because someone once gave us the same choice, and we were afraid, too afraid to take it. She studied him. And you regret it. Every day. Silence stretched between them, filled only by the soft hum of the station. I was trained to observe, she said. Not to lead, not to resist. Observers see what others miss, Elias said. That's why they're dangerous. She almost smiled. Almost. Later, alone again, she reviewed the archive Elias had given her access to, not all of it, just enough. Faces, voices, ideas, her people had not been weak. They had been afraid of becoming uncertain. And uncertainty was where humans lived comfortably. When the council summoned Elias again, she went with him. This time, she asked to stand beside him. Murmurs filled the chamber. This is irregular, a voice said. So is extinction, Saravath replied calmly. They fell silent. She spoke then, not loudly, not emotionally, just truth. She spoke of erased art, deleted language, forgotten thinkers. She spoke of fear disguised as efficiency, of control mistaken for strength. She did not accuse, she remembered. When she finished, no one spoke for a long time. Finally, the council addressed her. You understand the consequences, they said. Yes, she answered. You will lose protection. Yes, you may never return. I already can't, she said softly. The council turned to Elias. Humanity accepts responsibility, Elias nodded. We always do, eventually. The transmission ended. Afterwards, Saravath felt empty, not relieved, not proud, just lighter. You are free now, Elias said quietly. She looked at him. No, now I am visible, he smiled faintly. That's usually how it starts. As she returned to her room one last time, the door stayed open. This time she did not close it. She packed nothing. She carried only memory and choice.